What's up? What's up? I got a midday update based on the few injury news that's been coming in, and just based on me being rested and kind of reanalyzing my lineup, I've made a couple changes. So this was the lineup that I had from last night's video, and this is the lineup that I'm confident and I'm gonna go with for today. And I'm gonna kind of get into why I made certain changes. So Kemba Walker, um, I didn't replace him with Rubio. Essentially, I replaced him with Vucevic. Rubio was already in my lineup, so I moved up Rubio into the point guard space. Took out Kemba Walker and put Vucevic in. The reason is, if you look at Vucevic and Kemba Walker, you've been getting similar output from both, and so Kemba Walker can get you. And it's funny because in his last two games, he displayed his ceiling and his floor. And we know that 40s consistently can be expected from Kemba Walker. Vucevic, same difference for the most part. His floor could be around 30 on a bad night, but 40s is what we can expect consistently. And he can get you into the 50s as well, as he's shown here. And one can argue that this is a good matchup. One can argue that Sacramento has underwent some changes and that they're toughening up at the center and forward positions. It's a debate. It's debatable. But I did like Vucevic better than Kemba because I think even on the season, their fantasy point average is similar, and Vucevic comes at $1,200 cheaper. So that made me take out Kemba and put Vucevic in. I feel much more safer about that decision. I also took Beal out and I put Jeremy Lamb in. It hurt me to do it. I thought long and extensively about taking out Beal. I think that Beal is pretty solid, but there's a few reasons why I don't really love Beal tomorrow, and I'm going to go into each of them. The first reason is that Washington's been on the road since the 7th, and today's the 13th. So in 6 days, they're playing their fifth game, right? All on the road, traveling from Phoenix to Denver to Sacramento, all the way up to Portland. Now they're going way east, coming back towards the East Coast, and they're stopping in Minnesota for a away game. So a lot of traveling. Now, these three games, we could say, yeah, but he still did well. He did 63. These are all West Coast teams. Now, he has one day off to get back on the East Coast. I'm just not too certain about that for one. For two, I don't really like paying up on my shooting guards, no matter who they are. It could be DeMar DeRozan, Beal. Shooting guards are not guaranteed, all right? Beal is a little bit different because his rebound numbers and assist numbers have been up as well as his points. He's not just solely relying on points. But against Minnesota, I don't think there are going to be a lot of rebounds available with Karl Anthony Towns and Gorgie Jang down low. So if we look at the last game they played, he didn't do too well. And for the exact reasons that his rebounds weren't there, there wasn't a lot of assists. Assists is going to be hard to come by, especially with Wiggins playing. Wiggins can be a star on the offensive end, but he plays very good defense. And that's why I like Wiggins' future. I think Wiggins is going to develop into another Kawhi Leonard kind of guy in a couple of years as he gets some more training and experience. But, Wiggins is what, the second or third year in the league? Wiggins is fairly new. Um, he's fairly new into the league. So for that reason, with the high price, I said I'll go, and I always look for value at my shooting guards. Another advice that I say in my lineup is try to get as much big men. I like to play two centers. Here I had a guard as my utility. I normally don't do that. So when I saw that this morning, I realized that my lineup needed some shaking up. So that's why I went with Lamb. Now Batum is questionable with migraines. Even if Batum does play, let's think about it. He's going to be in an arena with a lot of noise, running up and down, sweating, heart pounding, and I can see them pulling him if he doesn't get off to a hot start. And even if he does get off to a hot start and he does play, looking at Jeremy Lamb, his season average is 18, which is about 6 times value for his price. Last 10 games, his average is 20, which is about 6 times value for his price. The upside, three of the last four games, 26, 25, and 23 points, which can be 7 to 8 times. I think 26 might be almost 8 to 9 times value. of his price. So they have someone that can give me 8 to 9 times who might start. That's very promising. When I saw the Batum news, automatically fell in love with Jeremy Lamb. Um, and then I went to my value sheet that I had from last night, and Jeremy Lamb name was on it. So I said, wait a minute. All signs are pointing to Jeremy Lamb. Let me go with Jeremy Lamb. All right. So that's how that happened. I stuck with Tyreke Evans. It's probably between Tyreke Evans and Snell. Those are the two picks that I'm not solid about. In the last 2 nights, whenever I've said that, those picks came through big for me, right? But I was trying to get Tim Hardaway Jr. instead of Tyreke Evans for that similar price. The only thing is I'm not touching any of my guards. I like Rubio. I like Schroeder. And although Tim Hardaway Jr. can play the shooting guard, I like Lamb. And for me to take out Evans, I can move Snell into the small forward spot, but Tim Hardaway Jr. is not forward eligible. I love the idea of having Millsap, Schroeder, and Tim Hardaway Jr. I thought that brought a lot of Atlanta's production, even Dwight Howard, but it just wasn't able to fit into my lineup the way I wanted it to. So I stuck with Tyreke Evans. It's just that 6 times to expect 6 times value from Tyreke Evans is possible. He had a game, he put up 39. The matchup is there. The last time out against Orlando, it only took him 19 minutes and he put up 38. So we know he could put up points and very quickly. And it's just that he's not getting too much minutes. But I don't think he would need the minutes tonight. I think I'll accept 5 times value. If I get the 6 time, more the merrier. But Tyreke Evans, so let's take him out, right? I'll put Snell up in the small forward position, and I'll kind of speak about why I like him in a second. So I'm looking for a forward. I have 5,400. The matchup is there, Tyreke Evans. Other than that, I'm not playing any Lakers. I doubt until Lakers show me some consistency with their rotation, I'm not going to play any Lakers moving forward. They're tanking and they're trying to give people experience, so their lineups are not sturdy. Um, it's like Jason Kidd's lineup. It's hard to predict what you're going to get in any given night. So I'm going to stay away from all Lakers players. Wesley Matthews been kind of struggling lately. I like Gorgie Jang, but they've been taking away his minutes and giving it to Bihalika. If I can be guaranteed that he'll get 30 minutes tonight, I would play Gorgie Jang over Tyreke Evans. But he might get 24 minutes. And with 24 minutes, I don't think he'll get me that value that I want. But Gorgie Jang is a very good play tonight. Love it. Um, Carly Stein, same thing. He's in a good matchup. But he's up and down, man. He can give you 25 and then 43 and then 15. If you know me, I like consistency. I like security. He doesn't provide that for me. David Lee's in a good spot every night moving forward. It's just that his price has caught up to the fact that LaMarcus Aldridge will be out, and I'm just not comfortable getting David Lee in, expecting, this game against Golden State, I thought he was going to get into the 30s, and he didn't. So David Lee, I'm going to be careful with. Deadman is worth a look, though. Deadman for sure, I think, for his price, benefits the most. That LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be out. And then coming down, it's just all iffy people. Terrence Ross can go off, but then he'll bottom you out and make you regret playing him. I don't see anyone from here on down. At least I can say with Tyreke Evans, if I don't get 6 times value, I'll get somewhere in the 20s. And with the rest of my lineup, the way that it looks, I felt comfortable getting Tyreke Evans in, right? Tony Snell is someone that I've been playing consistently. He's getting minutes in the 30s consistently because of the injuries on the team. And he's been consistently in the mid 20s to up to even 30s, and that's 6 to 7, 8 times value you can get out of Tony Snell. So I'm going to stick with the consistency, even though his last game against them hasn't been well. I think the matchup is okay for him tonight. I'm going to leave Tony Snell. Millsap, I'm not going to lie, he's been consistent. His floor looks good. He's sub 7. He can get you in the 40s consistently, but I'm very nervous. He's put up 56 the last time he played the Spurs, but I'm still nervous about Millsap. Any given night, you could be nervous. And I think the reason is because in February, he went through this cold spell where I was playing Millsap back in November, December when he was going off, and he was winning me, winning me, winning me. And then February, every night, I'm like, yes, tonight he's gonna recover. He's gonna recover, and he's recovered. You know, he's recovered. I think the addition of Ilyasova kind of helped him realize, like, I got to step my game up. Um, Healthy Dwight Howard and the team just bonding, moving forward, kind of assured certain roles on that team. So I'm gonna leave him in. I'm just hoping that he can get me back into the 40s one more night. He has a good history against San Antonio. Um, he was also in my video from last night, so I don't see why not just roll with Paul Millsap. I took Marvin Williams out because Kaminsky is probable, and Marvin Williams' success has came at the expense of Kaminsky missing games. So now that Kaminsky is back, Marvin Williams' role will decline a little bit. His touches, his um, usage, his minutes, everything is going to decline. Valanciunas, I took out because I got two solid centers. I think Valanciunas will do good tonight. And for 4K, I think he'll be back into the 30s again. It's just with some 20s in there, I'm kind of nervous about it. So I'm going to stay away from Valanciunas. Love Jokic tonight. I think the matchup is there's only one other team outside of Philadelphia which gives up a lot, this much points to centers, and it's the Los Angeles Lakers. One reason why I love Jokic. Second reason is because Denver's fighting for playoff positioning. Um, Zubac could have had a big night last night, but the coach took him out. I don't think they're going to take out Jokic because Chandler is questionable. Fareed is out. So Jokic and Mason Plumlee are two good options for tonight. Third reason I like Jokic is because Denver didn't play yesterday and they don't play again until Thursday. So they're not going to be worried about him needing rest and not and being fatigued out. They have a long stretch off. So I think he'll get the minutes that he needs. The last game that he played, LA, he put up 56 points, and that was only with one assist. I think he gets more assists tonight and get into the 60s for 6 times value as a max price player. You can't ask for more than that. Love Jokic tonight. Schroeder, as much as I hate playing him, I must admit that he plays very similar to Eaton Clark, where he'll throw up some shots and has a good chance of making them. But he likes to drive when his shots are not falling. He'll drive to the basket. He can get to the line 8 to 10 times in a game, and he's consistently in the last 10 games he's been just about 30 every game at least, which is just 5 times value. He's exceeded that most games into the high 30s, low 40s. So if I can get that out of Shooter tonight in a favorable matchup that's on a team that's injury prone, I think that's a good idea. Love Shooter tonight. I already spoke about Snell, and Vucevic I kind of spoke about as well. So this is my new lineup here. I didn't incorporate it as yet because I wanted to share it with you guys. But now that I've shared it with you, I'm going to get rid of this lineup from last night. I'm going to import this one as my new lineup for tonight. If you got to ride with me when I show you a lineup and you see me playing it. I'm playing an 8 contest tonight. Not really betting a lot of money because my bankroll kind of took a dip. Um, Last night I broke even, but I think tonight is the night where I just get back high, way up. This is the lineup that's going to bring me there. So like, comment, subscribe. Let's share some ideas. Let me know how you feel about it.